Hi again, I'm Pere Martla from Barcelona and welcome back to Email Agents with Pere. It's time to improve our cleaning process. We want to significantly reduce the time spent in cleaning. The first thing that we can do to improve our environment cleaning is try with multiple scenarios. We are going to have more than one agent simultaneously cleaning to see if there is any improvement. We need a new empty object. I call it Iceland. I duplicate our Iceland and I move so that we can see it. And drag and drop inside our new object, Iceland. Repeat it until you have 6 Icelands. Okay, just with this change we can launch the cleaning process again. We need to change the name. If not, we will get a message error telling us that it already exists, and showing two possibilities: force or resume to add this cleaning to the one with the same name. But we want a new file. I call it curso02. Okay, I click play in Unity and come back to our split screen to control how the agent is cleaning. In the list we can see the new process curso02 and the old one curso01. The tab will be updated with the data from curso02. At this moment the curve seems the same, even a little bit worse curso02 than curso01. But if we move the cursor over the curve, we can see that we only need 5 minutes to execute a lot of steps. 192,000 steps. It's a big improvement. To do the same steps, curso01 spent 30 minutes, 500% worse. That's really a big improvement. Sometimes the improvements can be due to little things. Maybe our computer have more processes running, our target is moved randomly, but this improvement is out of question. It's without any doubt a big improvement. But attention! That's my improvement in my computer. I'm using a MacBook Pro 13-inch with an i5. Not a bad computer, but not really powerful. Try in your machines this configuration and others. Maybe for you will be best with 10 scenarios or maybe just 4 of them. Let the tab advance until the same time is consumed as with the single scenario setup. Okay, 22 minutes now, and we have the triple steps that with one scenario, and the curve keeps going up. Our agent is still learning. He has not reached its optimum point, which is when the curve flattens. Well, now we have a better environment. Maybe not the best possible, but for sure better than before. Fine, we have some problems in the code. I noticed it doing the cleaning, observing the agent, I realized that maybe there is something wrong. And so it was. We have the functions onTrigger and onCollision, and we are going to remove onCollision and leave only the onTrigger. In our sphere we have already a collider, a little bit bigger than her, and it's checked as a trigger collider. As a result, we are getting in every collision a trigger and a collision, and we don't need both events. We are fine just with the trigger. Now we need to modify the onTrigger and onTrigger state. The first problem is that the second function is called continuously, and we might ask why. Easy, because we are touching the floor. The first time I wrote this code I was testing a rocket flying between planets and he was never touching anything, but here we are touching the floor. Okay, just a fast solution. First check if we are in cleaning mode, and we are only to execute this code in cleaning mode, and do the same in the onTrigger function. And now we have to add to this function the negative rewards. We can use just the same values that we had in onCollision and onCollision state. And let's see if something changes in the cleaning process. Let's try another scenario. We can choose GPU or CPU for every agent. The default configuration is use the CPU, but we can change it to GPU, and that is what are we going to do. Let's change this option to every agent, launch a new lightning process, and let's see what happens. The first thing I have to say is that here we will have to obtain very different results depending on our machine. My machine doesn't have a very powerful GPU, but let's check. And I can't appreciate any significant differences. It is going to change with a good GPU? I have no idea, but I think it can change. Let's try to increase the number of agents running simultaneously. I'm trying to reach the correct number for my machine, and I configure half of them with GPU and the other half with CPU. The improvement seems really important, maybe more than 50%. Okay, correct. To reach 43,000 steps with 6 agents, we spent 28 minutes, and with 12 agents, only 13 minutes. Okay, it's easy to understand, isn't it? You only need to try different configurations and decide which one works fine for you. You can do a lot of things more, like modify the configuration file, but this is much more easy than change the .yaml file, and we can obtain with relatively little effort a little improvement. Now that we have a good scenario, we can try with a long learning process, maybe some hours, so that we can see how the curve flattens out as the agents learn to execute the actions and obtain the rewards. It has been a long process, near to 3 hours, and this is really a simple model. You can see how important it is to try to reduce the learning time. We can save a lot of time in bigger projects. Okay, we have finished with the first model. Now we are going to create a second project, but this time more beautiful, and with a humanoid type character. And we are going to use it to learn how to work organizing our vector action with a discrete space type. You will see, it's different. See you in the next video, and thanks for being here.